Oh, can you take a screenshot of us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If I could write, I'd write you a song. It'd be about the secret.
Oh, you sound so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Shelley Berg and I wrote this song at a sound check in Cleveland.
I would say it plain. I always had a thing for you. In simple words.
I should be able to take a screenshot. What is it, like Shift Command 4?
I can't really hear you because the music is louder.
Okay.
You are nearby, 'cause I want you so, and I doubt you know, I always had a thing for you. I love the way your mind works, and I love your eyes. Your laughter kinda does me in. When I hear it start, I get a catch in my heart. I tell you all about it, only where would I begin? You got a quiet manner and a sweet old soul. Don't need women beating down your door. If they only knew about the fire in you, it's been melting me forever. I can't take it anymore. If I could write, I'd write you a song. It'd be about the secret I've been keeping so long. In the song's refrain, I would say it plain. I always had a thing for you.
It's 5993. Oh, never mind.
And I would sing that song of mine and hope you liked the turnaround in the very last line, the one that says how glad I'd be.
Oh, cool. Cute.
I like the look on your face. You look sort of, you know, into the experience.
How glad I'd be to find you always had a thing for me.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh. You're such a good writer and singer.
Thank you, Cathy. And Shelley Berg. We wrote that at Nighttown in Cleveland during a sound check with the waitresses clinking glasses and we only have 18 reservations. And, you know, we actually wrote part of 3 songs during that sound check. Shelley is just wicked fast. Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. Cause it was what was happening, right? It was just, wow, that's so great. I love that.
Well, we used to both live in Los Angeles, and then I moved to Half Moon Bay for a while, and then Shelley got this great job as the head of the Frost School of Music at the University of Miami.
Right.
And so at one point I was living on Orcas Island and he was living in Miami. We couldn't have been farther apart unless we were on separate continents practically.
Wow. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my guest, Lorraine Feather. Lorraine Feather.
Oh.
We haven't seen each other for a long
Cathy,
time.
I haven't seen you in like a decade or something.
I know, it's been really kind of, yeah, it's just, it is what it is, but it's so weird, isn't it? Because there are people you're fond of, like you and I are fond of each other, and it's just been so long, Wow.
I know. Well, we can connect in some way, somehow.
Yeah. I always start thinking that I want to sing one of your songs, and then I get lost. But and because your songs are so good, I'm going to sing one of your songs eventually.
I have lead sheets for many of them.
I know you do. It's very impressive. I got one from your site. So, I was reading your bio, which I hadn't known the whole story, the whole Lorraine Feather story. And I don't know if I'm not sure if I knew that you had started, going for acting first.
Yeah. What happened was that when I was in 9th grade, for a year, I went to Catholic school. It was just because a friend of mine was going there. And they had this all-girl production of the Greek tragedy Electra. And the lead got sick. And I had no thought about acting or didn't think I had any talent or anything, but I was very good at memorizing. So I was the only one in my class who said, "Oh, I could memorize that part in whatever it was, 3 days." And so I did. Wow. And I guess it went okay. My class stood up, and I had been a very withdrawn person up till that point. I thought, well, this is really exciting. And then I went to Hollywood High, which is the acting place to go to, because they have they participate in the various festivals, and I would do scenes. And then I went to LA City College, and I was a theater arts major. So I thought, well, I'm going to go back to New York, because I really didn't like LA particularly. It's just too hot for me, and I didn't want to have to learn to drive. So I went back to New York at 18 and to try and be an actress. I was in a few shows, but mostly I just waitressed a lot. Really a lot.
That's actually why I started it in acting too out here. But I thought, well, if I'm a singer, then I can sing, to make money instead of waitress all the time.
Exactly. That's what happened with me too. That's what happened with me, because I was going to all of these auditions. I worked a little bit, but I waitressed at like 8 different places. And one morning I went to an audition for a showcase, which meant it didn't pay anything. And there was a line around the block. And I went back to the loft where I was with my then boyfriend. And I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And I had done a few singing gigs just to make grocery money. I said, I'm not an actress anymore. Okay. I'm a singer. Just because it's the same thing. I was able to learn the tunes when suddenly the lead singer just flew the coop. Yeah. And so I, a few days later, got this call out of the blue to sing backup with Petula Clark in Vegas for a couple weeks. Wow. Subbing for somebody. Yeah. And it was like the money was nice, and she gave us beautiful outfits, and there was an orchestra. I thought, well, this is the sign. I said it, and it manifested. I'm a singer now. This is it. So then I got a job singing Top 40, which was really much harder than waitressing. 6 nights a week, 6 sets a night. They said, well, if you take this gig, when I don't have a car, they went, one of the guys will drive you home. What they meant was one of the guys would accompany me home on the subway from the Bronx to Chelsea and Manhattan. So it was really tiring. I kind of drank a lot during that period. I mean, I was, on the floor, but in between every set, I'd have a drink. Once we played at the Jersey Shore, and I'd had a few Black Russians, and I came home and just threw up. And at the same time, it was, I'd say, character building, but I didn't get into lyric writing, which is my main thing in life, until I was in my early 30s and back in Los Angeles.
Wow. Okay. So that was New York. And then when did you move to Los Angeles?
Really bad with years, but I was in my late 20s.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I've been there almost 10 years, and I just, I sort of couldn't take the stress of it. And I figured, well, if I'm going to be a singer, maybe I should be back in LA. So I went back to LA. I did a few gigs. Still, it was nothing, and I was working part-time jobs. My parents were happy that I was back. But I got this call, again, out of the blue. This singer I knew named Barbara McGraw, I think she's an attorney now, but she called me and said, hey, I just went to this audition for Richard Perry, the pop producer, and Joel Silver was there too, the movie producer. And she said, I told him, I'm not the right singer for this gig. I know the perfect person. They wanted somebody to be in front of a big band singing with two other people who turned out to be Charlotte Crossley and Steve March Torme. And so I went in there, and they both just liked me right off the bat, and I got that gig. So then I wound up being with that group for a while. We went to Japan, we did a few things. Again, nothing really came of it, but in the process, Richard had wanted somebody to write music to this Tommy Newsom tune. You remember Dante's, right?
Sure.
Well, we went to Dante's.
Yeah.
And this is not the really Richard Perry hang, but he went there because he wanted to hear the Tommy Newsom big band. Yeah. And they played this tune called Love Boheme. It was a takeoff on Love Boheme. And Richard later said, okay, I want to hire a lyricist to write lyrics to that tune. So it was sort of complicated rhythmically and demanding. And I had grown up listening to Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross around the house, with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And so I think I could do it. So he went, okay. So I went home and I plunged into this tune, and I brought it back real nervous, and I sang it for Richard and the two others. And they're being just sort of quiet. It's like, dude, that's really nice, Lorraine. And Richard goes, oh, I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like that. It should be about this instead. And this is the setting. So I'm scribbling away. Go, okay. And I went home. I rewrote it. I brought it back. He said, okay, we'll record it. I wound up writing half the tunes for that album. But what happened was that I just had this like thunderbolt hit me that this is what I was meant to do, because it was so interesting. And it was hard, but I had just an organic feel for it, more so than singing, which has taken me a long time to feel comfortable with my own voice and kind of, navigate over my break and really just be me. Whereas with lyric writing, it's just like shot out of a cannon. It's like I had always done it. I'd written poems and essays as a little kid, but it just took over my life. And then later I decided to do stuff on my own, but this, just took a god awful amount of time for all this to play out.
Well, that's really cool. Wow. That's really, just kind of spilled out. It seems like it just spilled out just like it was supposed to, your road, your path.
Yeah.
Is there, if I go on your site, can I see your lyrics?
Yes.
I want to share the lyrics like here, because it's, your lyrics are just so great.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I love your singing too. I really do.
Well, thank you. I always call myself a lyricist / singer. Oh, look, my cat is behind me. Hi, Albert.
Oh, hi, Albert.
Here, you want to be on camera? Okay, so if you go to albums,
Okay.
and then you go to the new one, which is My Own Particular Life,
Okay.
all the lyrics are on that page.
Oh, great.
Oh, he's so cool, Albert.
Let's see.
He's such a good boy.
I think I can. Okay. Oh, and this is music you wrote with Eddie Arkin.
Yes, I wrote, how many of the tunes did I write with Eddie? Let me subtract. 2 with Russell, 2 with Shelley, 1 with Dave Grusin. So I wrote 5 with Eddie.
Now, remind me about Eddie Arkin, kind of just a general who he is.
Well, he's a guitar player, composer, arranger. He's done a lot of film and TV work, but he's an incredible songwriter. And we're very close friends. And he wrote a book that still sells called Creative Chord Substitutions for Jazz Guitar. And he does play on my albums, but Grant Geisman plays more guitar. But Eddie is wonderful. And we created this album over the course of 2.5 years together. Almost all of our friendship has taken place on the phone. I did see him in 2019, and that when I went back to visit with him and see Tony, my ex-husband.
Yeah.
And little did we know, that the pandemic was going to happen.
Yeah.
But we just did the whole thing long distance. We've known each other for 35 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you want to maybe play some of this tune, or you want me to play it and you can scroll down the lyrics or something?
Sure. Let's see.
Is that going to work?
Yeah. Can I play it from this site?
You could play it from, let's see, what's on the site. Okay, on the site is Are You Up and A Hopeful Note. So if you scroll down to Are You Up, that's song number 4.
Scroll down here, you mean?
If you scroll down the lyrics, if you open up the lyrics,
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 4. Okay.
Are You Up? There it is. And then here it is on the site. You can play it in full.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's see. So I'll play this.
Send me a keyboard, angel, angel. Find me in a German in the alphabet bar.
Yeah.
This way? Ah. Okay.
There it is.
Empathy, attitude, longitude, latitude. Are you up? Are you up? Are you up? Hyper reality, stinking mortality. Are you up? Are you up? I had a dream. I was with you. You floated by my window and out I flew. A minute passed. You typed at last. Me too. Let's meet somewhere. I'm down. I like your voice, the name of your town. It would be nice to be together on the ice, on the ice, on the ice, on the ice. You had a dream, more like a snapshot. Okay, I say, give me what you got.
Sorry.
There were words. Were they written? No. Were they spoken? No. They went, breathe deeply, chill completely, enjoy the journey, enjoy the journey. There will be much you don't understand. Dinosaurs, lights in the ocean, it will be grand. Let me travel into your head. Are you up? Are you up? Are you up? Let me unravel you thread by thread. You up? You up? Walking far enough apart, we share a common heart. Glide along the path of no resistance. We turn to face each other, reach out to one another, nearly touch 10 fingers, glove to glove. Longitude, latitude. Are you I like the way you write to me. It's a little bit formal. I like your way mistakes. I like your paragraph breaks. I like you. Turn off the phone. Imagine the rush if we were not alone. Angel, angel.
So cool.
Thank you.
Yep, I love it. I remember the first time I heard you. I don't know if I ever told you this.
No.
I was, when I came to LA, my first real waitressing job was at Dante's. And I worked there for a year and a half. And you sang. I think it was one of your first kind of gigs, out.
Probably. I was probably singing, I'm sure I was singing standards.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very nervous in those days. It took me a long time to settle in. It wasn't until I started doing songs with my own lyrics that I became comfortable on stage. In fact, remember Le Cafe?
Yeah.
The first time that I did something that was mostly just all my own stuff, Tony was playing, he was playing like one of those electronic drum kits, and he set me up with a vocal harmonizer, which was a thing at the time, so that I could harmonize with myself. And my dad was there, and it's a very small place, as you remember.
Yeah.
But but I talked a lot in between songs because it was about my writing. And then when Tony, we were married at the time, we got home, he said, "What's with you?" He said, "It's like you couldn't shut you up." He said, "Once you got up to the microphone, you just kept going." I went, "Well, all of a sudden I had something to say."
That's cool. Very cool. Yeah.
And my dad was very happy about that. He lived long enough to see me become a lyricist. And he was just very, very excited about that. And he took me to ASCAP meetings, and I met the people like David Raskin, who wrote Laura, and Alan and Marilyn Bergman. And it was great. Like, we just became this sort of nerd word father and daughter pals.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Lorraine's father was Leonard Feather, probably one of the most famous jazz critics ever. And so that was how she grew up, surrounded by jazz and, meeting people. And was your mom musical too?
Sorry, say again.
Was your mom musical?
Yeah, my mom was a big band singer.
Oh.
And she was roommates with Peggy Lee. I'm sorry about Albert meowing. I didn't know he was that noisy. You probably had some of that in your noontime hangs, right?
Definitely.
Dogs and
dogs, cats, yeah.
Yeah. But she was not ambitious, but she did sing with some big bands. And my parents were introduced to each other by Peggy Lee. My whole name is Billie Jane Lee Lorraine Feather, which is Billie for Billie Holiday, Jane for my mom, Lee for Peggy Lee, Lorraine for the song Sweet Lorraine. So, yeah.
That's a long name.
Yeah, and it rhymes too.
It was a portent of things to come.
It was a portent. I said it one time, I was like young Frankenstein. I was sort of trying to be something else, but I was destined to end up in that world.
Did you have siblings?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Wow, that's pretty cool. So, yeah. So, and it's kind of, I would think it's kind of obvious what you would get from growing up in that environment. But do you feel like your writing of lyrics actually came out of the influence from there, or was it just kind of innately in you?
Yes and yes, I guess. I think that some of it was just in me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't study. I don't read. My dad gave me piano lessons when I was a kid with John Lewis yet.
Oh, really?
No, I don't want to. I just didn't. He really, I thought at one point, if he really wanted me to play the piano, he should have forbidden me to go near it. But I didn't, and I don't read, but I do hear. And that's just something that,
That's kind of amazing, because you write to a lot of intricate music. I mean, that what we just heard, that was pretty intricate,
Well, when I write like that with Eddie, what usually happens is that I go lyrics first.
Okay.
I was listening to this song from decades ago. There was a dance thing, and I just had the idea of, "Are you up? Are you up? Are you up?" I said, "Eddie, I was thinking of doing a song called 'Are You Up?' Like, and I would go and I played him the beat. It'd be go, 'Are you up? Are you up?'" He said, "Oh, that's so cool. I like it." So I work on the lyrics with him on the phone. We've done it a lot in person, but I swear it's just as fast because we know each other so well now.
Yeah.
And the first verse, and he knows my range. And so he'd go like, "All right, what about this? Da, 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 da. We'll just keep it really low and kind of monotone." And then every now and then he'll go, "No, I don't like that. Let's start over." Or he'll say, "Let me program something. I'll call you back in 20 minutes. So I'd go and like have a snack or play with Albert and something, and then we would resume. But that's the way that goes. What you probably also mean, though, is early on, I used to write lyrics to Fats Waller and Duke Ellington pieces.
Yes.
And that was very difficult. I wrote lyrics to this one Fats Waller piece just because I just felt like it. I'd been working as a lyricist for cartoons, and MGM Animation closed, and I just had this thought. I had done this one album a few years ago. Like, I want to do something really fun. And I found these old Fats Waller albums at my parents' house. It was Turn on the Heat. It was like a double album of Fats Waller. My parents never played that stuff when I was a kid because it was too old. He died before I was even born.
Yeah.
But I just fell in love with it because it was so, bouncy and exciting.
Yeah.
And I just started writing lyrics to it. And I recorded one tune with the guys around it and used Fats Waller's solo.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Dick Hyman,
Yeah.
great stride player. And he was a friend of my parents from way back, but I didn't know him myself particularly. And he called me up and he said, Lorraine, he said, you have to do a whole album of these Fats Waller songs and I will play on it. And I can't do it right away, but I think he might've suggested Mike Lang to do something. He said, good luck, but you need to do this. He said, it's like Leonard Hendricks and Ross, only the music is even much older. But it's just something I had a knack for. I don't consider myself like any kind of Aretha Franklin gift from God voice singer at all. But I have a knack for singing fast, and I have an ear. So it was just very consuming and really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
I remember that project. That was great. It was a fantastic project. Yeah.
No, thank you.
You've done so many though. But I wanted to, there are some people online and I just wanted to tell you a few things. Let's see. Well, first of all, let's see. Leslie Zerla, who is a very good singer, and she used to own a club up north. I'm such a fan. You had me at Where Are My Keys? Always such a creative experience to journey with you. More, please. Love hearing that you were influenced by Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross. I first heard them when I was in grade school, and I'm so grateful. And then Tanya Grubbs, who's a really wonderful singer on the East Coast, she said, any suggestions to being a great lyricist, such as yourself? Any tricks to share?
Well, what I do is I don't have a schedule. If I'm working on something, see what I do now, which is lyrics first, is really different from writing lyrics to pre-existing music. But
what did you say? Lyrics to your own music?
Well, what I do now is write with Eddie and Russell and Shelley Berg and Dave Grusin, and I always bring them the lyric first, except one tune on this.
Oh, I see. Wow. Okay, cool.
Most of his music it's lyrics first. So, well, I'll tell you how I do that. If I'm going to write an up-tempo tune, I usually have a template of something like it could be anything, so a Yo-Yo Ma thing or a Grace Jones tune or anything that will help me find the rhythm of the lyrics that I want to write.
Yeah.
And then I give it to the person I'm working with and it turns into something else completely, but having that rhythm and that groove and something to speak or sing along with.
Cool.
Makes all the difference. And then when I'm working, sometimes I get an idea for the middle of the song. Sometimes it comes from the title. It really depends. And I'll sit down and just kind of studiously work on it for a while, like look up rhymes or do people use that idiom or do people really say that? I have these little blank spots where I forget how the English language goes and I'll look things up and then go take a walk. Or when I had a house, I would go out in the garden and then you just let your subconscious just kind of run with it. And I know composers have this happen all the time. Or you're in the shower and it just works itself out. Like I find that the lyric edits itself in my head.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's so interesting. And because, I mean, looking at that particular lyric, it struck me as poetry, you know, and which doesn't take away from what you just said. I mean, the rhythm, you know, of course, poetry has rhythm too. So, and also your lyrics are very extremely, I don't know if conversational is the right word. It's a story. It's like it's a very solid story. You know, it's not like sometimes you have lyrics that go all over the place. You know what I mean?
I do.
And but your stories are very substantial. They're very there for each song. That's what.
Thank you, Cathy. It's nice to say.
So cool.
We have other commenters.
Yeah, Mark wants to know, do you write lyrics for other people?
Mark who?
Mark Baldrich.
Mark? Okay. I don't have to know, but yes, I do. I've written lyrics for soap operas, which it was not my cup of tea because I don't watch soap operas, for cartoons. And I wrote a lyric for Warren Beatty's movie, which unfortunately was a huge flop, but I was very proud of the song. Eddie and I wrote something called The Rules Don't Apply for Warren Beatty's last movie, Rules Don't Apply, that he commissioned us to do. So I do that. And then also, I have been working with Nan Schwartz.
Oh,
she and I,
I love her.
Yeah, I love her too. She was working with this woman named Cathy, who's an expat living in Paris and has had this idea for many years.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about this so long ago.
A couple of years ago, it had a showcase in Paris. So it's in development. We've written 7 songs for it, and then we decided we wanted to do something on our own.
This was a musical, right?
A musical was and is. It's in progress. And then we decided we wanted to do something on our own. I was reading various books, and Nan gave me this book called The Grammarians by Kathleen Shine. And it's about 2 identical twins who are obsessed with language. And I just, for some reason, I read it and I went, lyrics. I can really hear lyrics for this story about the 2 little weird girls who are identical twins. They kind of go, drift apart, they come back together. So Nan and I have written 3 song scenes for the Grammarians. It's about a half hour total, and I did the narrations, and it's really, really fun. So that's ongoing. Yeah, it needs to be like start out as a radio play or an album or a podcast, I think. But it's just it's really fun. I love writing lyrics, and it's not traditional musical theater music at all.
Right.
You know how Nan is.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
I'll let you hear it.
Oh, great. Wow. Dina DeRose says hello to us.
Yeah, hi.
And my friend Cecily Gardner loves your work, and she's a big fan.
Hi, Cecily.
Judy Rafat from Germany says hi.
Hi.
And Mark Baldrich would like to hire you as a lyricist. He sent you a message on your messenger.
Okay. I'll be on the lookout.
Yeah, wow. Let's see. So you've been moving around for the last 15 years or so, right? A little bit?
Yeah, a long time. Let's see. I'm really bad with years, but I was living in. Yeah,
I'm bad with years too, believe me.
I swear, it takes me so long ago. When was I born? And how long? It's for some reason very arduous for me to figure out when something happened. But I was born in New York. Then we moved out to LA when I was 12. Yeah. I came back to New York, went back to LA, and then I met and married Tony Morales. Tony Morales, wonderful drummer.
Yep.
He then got into computers. He got a job at Silicon Graphics in Northern California. So we moved up to the Half Moon Bay area.
Oh, right. Okay.
Lived there for like 10 years. And then he got laid off. There was a big crash in Silicon Valley. I wasn't really working. I was doing stuff I could do at home, and we wanted some place with more room for our then dogs. And we just kind of, I've been pretty impulsive. We moved to Orcas Island, basically, in the San Juan Islands. And then we lived there for like 8 years. Tony and I got divorced, but we stayed very close, and both moved back to LA. Tony sadly now has Alzheimer's.
Oh.
You didn't know that, huh?
No, God. Wow.
It's devastating.
Oh.
It's horrible. He was diagnosed a few years after we divorced, and anyway, he's being taken care of. His brother is near him, and he's in LA.
Oh.
But yeah, it's awful.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. I can hardly even talk about it, but there's a song about it on the new album called "Music from the Ceiling," about a dinner we had together. 19, but so we both moved back to LA, and then I moved to Massachusetts for a while. I was living in Worcester.
Yeah.
And then I just long story very short, I left there abruptly, and I didn't know where I was going to go. I had certain friends making suggestions about where I could stay or be with them. I don't like the heat. I didn't want to be back on the West Coast. And my friend Mark Waters and his wife Vanessa live here in Rochester. Mark teaches at Eastman.
Okay.
So he said, well, you could come stay with us and just see if you might like Rochester. It's a pretty cool town. And somebody else, Michael Bloom, the publicist, said, Rochester's a pretty hip town for an artist to live in. So I made friends with Mark's realtor on the phone, and she said, what kind of place would you want? I went, well, I need separate bedrooms for me and Albert Einstein, my cat, who you heard, because he bites when he's hungry and he has to sleep by himself. And, no laminate floors. It's someplace where I can walk around because I don't like driving, and, maybe it's near some cool architecture. So she called me, and I was just getting all my worldly belongings into these pods in Worcester, and it was a blizzardy and winter.
Okay.
She said, okay, I found this place, because no place is available in summer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she found this place. It's inexpensive. It's in a Victorian building with beautiful ceilings and stained glass. And it's right near the art museum. And if you don't take it, it'll be gone in 24 hours. I said, okay, I'll PayPal you the deposit. I'm going to move to Worcester.
Yeah.
Rochester. So that's what I did. I moved here, and I don't know if I'm going to be here forever, but it turned out to be a good choice.
That's cool. So how long have you been there?
2.5 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice.
That counting thing again, I went 2019, that was March, and now it's September. Yeah, 2.5 years.
I go by events like my marriage. My marriages, like.
Well, me too. 1983.
Yeah. I first got married in 79, and then and I still quite don't remember when I separated from him, but I remember when I married Gary. So
that's something. Yeah, I know. I get people go, when did you and Tony get divorced? And I always have to stop and think. I go, we weren't married for 30 years. We almost made it to 30 years. So wow. 1983, 03, 13, I swear.
That's funny.
Like that, yeah.
Well, it doesn't affect your writing, so big deal.
Well, we stayed, we were very close, and I think about him all the time.
Yeah. He was a great drummer too, man. He was a great drummer.
Really terrific and very creative.
Yeah. Have you traveled out of the country a lot, or that just doesn't really come up? Or
no, not a lot. I went to Paris for that showcase. I've been to Japan.
Yeah.
I went to Vietnam when I was 20 or so to do a USO tour. And I went to Sao Paulo, Brazil with the group.
Yeah.
But I haven't, and I've been to London. I have relatives there, but I haven't traveled very much. Have you?
Well, of course, recently not. I used to travel kind of often to Europe, and I've traveled to
remember that.
Japan for years and years. But the last trip that I was going to make was in 2020, and I was going to go to Japan for 3 weeks, and then it was March. So March was when everything started going like, and I almost went, but I was going to Hiroshima and Osaka and Tokyo. And my friends in Hiroshima and Osaka were like, oh yeah, come on. And then Tokyo, my friend who's also a doctor, she said, I really don't think you should come. And she turned out to be very right. So, but I'm kind of seeing a trip to Europe. Like, I have a friend in Norway, a guitar player. I don't know if you ever crossed his path, Wayne Brassel. He used to live in LA. And he lives in Norway, and he said the other day, he said, you should come to Norway and sing. And I was like, yeah, maybe I will. And then, of course, I'll go back to Japan because I go there every year usually. I do a lot of teaching there, so I can't see people really reaching out to get into a tiny room and sing together.
No, I've got this thing about Scandinavia. I'm Norwegian on my mother's side, and I'm every time I look at pictures of Finland, I'm just mesmerized. Like I really want to go there. But right around the time when you almost went out of the country, I almost went to LA to start recording the album. I had worked with Dave and worked with Eddie, and it was that same period of time, April.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, well, I'll just, I'll bring hand sanitizer and I'll be careful. And then it seems like in a heartbeat, everything changed. And I realized it wasn't okay.
Yeah. How is Rochester and COVID?
Pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah. I have to say, I understand that he had to step down, but I miss getting the Cuomo emails because he updated us all the time. I used to go to the page COVID in Rochester to see if we were under the percent, the percentage that is considered safe. But it's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. So you're still you're recording your voice. Do you keep keep practicing your voice? Or is it the kind of thing that when you're getting ready for something, then you start warming up? Or
yeah, it's more like in fact, I was thinking, I should really start vocalizing again, just even if I'm not recording right away, just to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like that. I would say in a way, the fact that I never had a touring career, I love performing live, but I never had a touring career. And in a way, it saved my voice because it hasn't gotten thrashed.
Yeah, yeah.
On the other hand, though, I do like to keep fluid and loose. And so I started the other day just doing my vocalization again. And I think I'm gonna do that because I always have some kind of a project in progress, and it's good to do.
It's hard to totally know what's going to help. That's what I found. It's like, because there's so many different things you can practice.
Yeah.
But I think I've settled on practicing technique. I usually do that every day because I want to get my voice into a particular way, like habits, and then also singing songs, like throwing on iReal Pro or, Jamie Abersol or something, and really just singing songs and getting it working. Then when I go and because I've been doing a few gigs, sometimes the gigs are very awkward. It's like, wow, that didn't come out well at all. In fact, I had to tell my girlfriend to please take it down off of Facebook, because it's like, no. But the recording, because I've been doing recording a lot, and that actually has been working okay. But it's a different experience. You can take.
Yeah, it's a different experience. But I've never been able to perform a lot live because my music is hard, and I can't just have a band.
Like a throwaway.
Really good musicians in Rochester, though, that I've worked with.
Yeah.
Bill Dobbins, pianist, he and I did it together.
Wow.
And
cool.
then Bob Snyder, guitar player, and Mike Melito, drummer. There are a lot of good guys who teach at Eastman. So I have done a couple gigs, but my albums are so much recording projects because of all the layered backgrounds and everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to replicate.
I remember seeing you at Catalina's, several.
Old Catalina's or the new one?
Let's see, maybe the new one?
The big one.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Yes. Amazon. That was really great. I remember that. Just you did such a great job. Great players, and just the songs were great. But it's pretty intricate for a live gig. I mean, you can't just do a throwaway gig with that stuff, unless you were just curious how the song sounded really simple, right? With like a trio or something like that. But
yeah, it's hard also because the guys are busy. Russell hasn't been touring with the Yellowjack. Maybe he's starting to again, but he was on the road a lot. And then Charlie Bisharat, violinist, and Mike Valerio both do tons of film dates. So it was hard to get everybody around there for sound check. But the thing is, they all knew my tunes because they had played on the album. Yeah, and Mike Shapiro, of course, lives in Manila now.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And I, at one point, when we realized we had to do this album long distance, I called everybody individually and asked them what they thought. And Michael Valeria said, no, I've done some gigs with Shapiro remotely. He said, I just really think, we all know each other so well. I think it would be better if you just keep it the way it is, record drums first, which is what we basically did. And then there's a studio nearby, the Green Room, Matt Rammerman's studio, that has a really nice Neumann mic and an isolation room. And, we just put it together, and I loved doing it. It turned out like nothing missing for me at all.
That's great. Yeah, that kind of blows my mind. I've heard that before, drums first, and I'm always intrigued by that. It's like, oh, interesting.
Well, mind you, I have these demos that I could sing to that are very complete. I mean, they have a click, obviously, but you would think that I would sing to the demo, and then we put the drums on, and then do it like music -1 transfer, and then the bass, and then I would have to sing everything all over again because it wouldn't fit. But it wasn't like that. It was almost as if I were just in the other room.
Yeah, it's great
the whole time. So yeah, I mean, I would do it again.
Cool.
Yeah, although the guys would probably be more. It would be together more.
Yeah. By the way, Tanya, she's in Pittsburgh. She saw the Yellow Jackets last night or Saturday night, and
great.
Russell was there. So I guess he is on the road a little bit.
I'm glad.
We don't have much longer with Lorraine because she has to go. She had an hour, but what should we know? Should we be on the lookout for something?
Well, my album is out. Mm-hmm. It's called My Own Particular Life. And if you go to LorraineFeather.com and scroll down from albums, you can see where to buy it. If you want to try out, sample some of the tunes and see if you think you would like it, please buy it. Yeah. Hopefully not Spotify because they do.
Because we get 0.0001 cent per song.
If it were only Spotify, we would all die. Well, not literally, but we would all. Have no career whatsoever.
Let's see. I feel like, we can catch up at another time, but I've enjoyed hanging out again, talking to you for a little bit, and like I said, we're both fond of each other, and too long without talking.
I know. Well, we should get on the phone sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Rochester, man, I might pass through Rochester next year. I have to go, believe it or not. well, people probably believe it, but it's my 50-year high school reunion next year.
Oh, awesome.
And so back in Boston. So I'm going to probably travel through New York a little bit and,
Yeah.
Make a
Well,
little
maybe you could stop by. We'll go have pizza or something.
pizza. Cool. Okay.
Whatever kind of food you like.
Well, pizza's good because East Coast pizza, that's the
Yeah.
best. Or that or a cheesesteak. Yeah, it's only good.
Yeah, I don't eat red meat, but I don't know if there are cheesesteaks. Well, I'm sure there are. But there are lots of eateries in Rochester. And it's a pretty city. There are a lot of gorgeous old mansions that are now divided up.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful. The Eastman House, which is a museum, is not far from here.
Yeah.
Art gallery. It's just it's a special place. And WGMC is here, a great jazz station.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Lorraine.
Thanks, Kath.
Love you, and
Too.
nice to meet Albert.
He's quieted down.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And best of luck with everything, and I would like
Thank
to
you.
talk soon, so I'll call you.
All right, that'd be great.
All right,
right.
sweetie. I'm going to stay on, everybody. So
Okay, bye everybody. Are you gonna log me off?
actually, you can log off. You see where it says leave?
Leave, let's see. Participants, leave, yes. Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, she's cool. Yeah, sure. I was thinking it would be kind of cool for us as a group here today to look at some lyrics that people are interested in. I know I'm putting you all on the spot, but maybe there are some lyrics that you love of a particular song. Gosh, there are so many good writers, aren't there? Tom Waits, I think, is a great lyricist. Sting, I love Sting's lyrics. Of course, there's some really beautiful standards lyrics. One interesting thing is that there were not a lot of lyrics in standards, Great American Songbook, that didn't rhyme. Oh, Joni Mitchell, yes, Joyce. And one song was Moonlight in Vermont. And I'm going to show you. Let's see, Moonlight in Vermont. Moonlight in Vermont. Whoops, it's not happening. Moonlight in Vermont lyrics. Yeah, this is just interesting. So here we go. I don't know if you can't see these, let me know, but here they are. Pennies in a stream, falling leaves. It's not of, but falling leaves, ... a sycamore. Moonlight in Vermont. Icy finger waves, ski trails down a mountainside. Snowlight in Vermont. Telegraph cables, they zing down the highway and travel each bend in the road. People who meet in this romantic setting are so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze, warbling of a meadowlark. Moonlight in Vermont. That is one. How about Joni Mitchell lyrics? Joni Mitchell lyrics. Let's see. What is her most famous song? Oh, there's a bunch of them. Raised on a Robbery. That was a good one. A Case of You. Oh, no, yeah, let's look at A Case of You. I mean, I love the melody of that song. But so here we go. Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness. Where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of a cartoon coaster in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. Oh, you're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. Oh, I am a lonely painter. I live in a box of paints. I'm frightened by the devil, and I'm drawn to the ones that ain't afraid. I remember that time you told me, you said, love is touching souls. Surely you touched mine, because part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. You're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and you taste so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you and I'd still be on my feet. I met a woman. She had a mouth like yours. She knew your life. She knew your devils and your deeds. And she said, go to him, stay with him if you can, but be prepared to bleed. Oh, I know those lyrics so well. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to look back at Facebook and see if anyone has some comments here. John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Love that tune. Very intuitive lyrics. Yeah. Oh, Hajira. Last time I saw Richard. Cool. Yeah, Both Sides Now is simple and beautiful, right? Both Sides Now. There's so many wonderful things. Yeah. I think it's bows and flows, not rose and flows. Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I looked at clouds that way. Oh, look at this. That's an interesting rhyming thing. There's 3 sentences that rhyme in these verses, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. You know, Mark Winkler, who's actually a very good friend of Lorraine Feather's, and they're both successful lyricists. He has a class. He's always teaching a class on writing, and it's great. The way that you can fall into rhymes or plan rhymes is very interesting. I've gotten a lot of informative information about that. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. But this is interesting, the 3-sentence rhyming. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way. But now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. So in that way, away and way are rhyming. And same with the earlier 2. That's another thing. You can rhyme. You don't have to rhyme right immediately after a sentence. You can rhyme 2 sentences away or 3 sentences away. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads and tell me that I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. Yeah, cool. Suzanne. That's cool. Suzanne. I bet Suzanne. This is interesting because many times I don't really look at lyrics alone. I look at them associated with, oh, Joyce, you're just pumping them out. Cool. Okay, so Leonard Cohen, of course, great poet. Suzanne takes you down to her place near the river. You can hear the boats go by. You can spend the night beside her. And you know that she's half crazy, but that's why you want to be there. And she feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. And just when you mean to tell her that you have no love to give her, then she gets you on her wavelength and she lets the river answer that you've always been her lover. Wow. Holy moly. And you want to travel with her and you want to travel blind. And then you know that she will trust you, for you've touched her perfect body with your mind. That's an example of rhyming a little bit away. The earlier one is too. And Jesus was a sailor when he walked upon the water. And he spent a long time watching from his lonely wooden tower. And when he knew for certain only drowning men could see him, he said, all men will be sailors then until the sea shall free them. Wow. But he himself was broken long before the sky would open. Forsaken, almost human, he sank beneath your wisdom like a stone. Whew. Damn. Now Suzanne takes your hand and she leads you to the river. She's wearing rags and feathers from Salvation Army counters. And the sun pours down like honey on Our Lady of the Harbor, and she shows you where to look among the garbage and the flowers. There are heroes in the seaweed. There are children in the morning. They are leaning out for love, and they will lean that way forever while Suzanne holds the mirror. Holy moly. What happened to Leonard Cohen's Suzanne? He had moved from Canada to the States, but he and Suzanne did meet in Montreal sometime later, and there were various accidental, casual encounters over the years. In 1999, she was involved in an accident which left her unable to work in either of her chosen professions. That's probably one of the most gorgeous songs ever, right? Lush Life is great. That's not the same Lush Life, though. Where's my mouse? Hello? Oh, I think my mouse is dead. Yeah, I think I was supposed to plug that in. And I don't know if I can use my mouse and plug it in, so I might have to leave you guys. Oh. Wow. Well, you know, much as I hate to do this, I think I have to leave you guys, and I'm not sure I even know how to leave you without, damn. Very interesting. Let's see. I'm on Facebook, and I really don't know how to close off. So, wow, well, I can't do a thing without my mouse. So, but hold on, I do have another mouse. Let's see if it has power. Maybe I can get my mouse working. This is funny, huh? Connected. Okay, I see that I'm connected. This is very interesting. Wow. Well, this is the wrong Lush Life. The regular Lush Life, I still can't get anywhere. I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where life relaxes on the axis of the wheels of life. Let's see if I can remember. To get the feel of life from jazz and cocktails. The gals I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distingué traces that used to be there. You could see where they'd been washed away by too many through the day, 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. Ah, yes, I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Life is lonely. Again, and only last year, everything looked so good. Now life is awful again. A trough of hearts could only be a bore. A week in Paris should ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I'll lead a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll stay while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too. That was Lush Life. I really can't leave. I don't know how to leave. I can't leave on my phone, and I can't leave on my computer. So looks like I'll sit here for a little while. This is a very unusual show. I mean, I could just leave you alone too, but anyway, hopefully my my mouse will get juiced up a little bit. Let's see. You know what song I've been learning? This would be a test to see if I knew it, although I have it right here. So just in case I do forget it. Let's see. Hi.
Hi.
I have a guest staying here, Calabria Foti. Say hi to the people. I'm in an awkward spot. My mouse isn't working. So,
Oh, no.
so see Calabria Foti, the great singer
Oh, stop.
and violinist. She's staying here
Hi.
for a week, and she's singing tonight at Catalina's.
Who am I saying hi to?
You're saying hi to the world, but
To the
I can't.
world?
My mouse isn't working, so
Oh, my goodness.
I have to juice it up, and then because I interviewed Lorraine Feather.
Oh,
So,
Lorraine.
so I'm talking about lyrics.
Okay. Well, you know, you're a great lyric writer, and so is Lorraine Feather.
Oh, she really is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so what I was going to, thank you. What I was going to read the lyrics to is Lotus Blossom. These lyrics are really great, and so I've been memorizing these. And this is a song called, let's see, this song was originally called, now I have some information about this song, but was it originally called Lotus Blossom? Maybe it was. So the history, this is it's Billy Strayhorn song. And it's the name has changed over the years. It was known as Hominy, All Roads Lead Back to You, which is a lyric in the song. And in 1947, Johnny Hodges recorded it as Charlotte Russe, presumably named for the popular dessert of the 1930s and 40s. And it was finally registered as Lotus Blossom in 1959. So Strayhorn was a pianist in Duke Ellington's band, and Ellington recorded the most popular version of the song. Ellington could never figure out how Strayhorn wrote this song. And Don Shirley, who is an amazing pianist, if you don't know him, he said, of all the things that Billy wrote, Lotus Blossom was an enigma for Duke. It got to a point that I began to realize that it bothered him in the good sense, trying to figure, how did he do that? but Billie had that kind of genius. The inspiration for the song may have come from a place important to Strayhorn long before he wrote the song in the 1940s. Perhaps as an escape from his alcoholic father, Strayhorn spent a great deal of time in his grandmother's garden, which may have inspired not only Lotus Blossom, but also Violet Blue, Passion Flower, and the gorgeous A Flower is a Lonesome Thing, which many jazz singers have recorded. At first, it may seem surprising that that a moody jazz classic like Lotus Blossom would appear in a baseball movie. Oh, but Field of Dreams, which is one of my favorite movies, is as much about relationships as is baseball. And the fact that composer James Horner, who gained fame for his score of Titanic, was also responsible for the Field of Dreams score. It's not difficult to see how Lotus Blossom found its way into the film. And also in 2000, the song is used as part of the score for M. Night Shyamalan's thriller Unbreakable. And Duke Ellington liked the song so much that it eventually became the sign-off song at the end of each of his band's performance. Can you imagine? It is his recording of Lotus Blossom that may be the best of many covers that exist. He said it was the song that Strayhorn liked to hear him play the most. After Strayhorn died from cancer in '67, Ellington and some of the band went into the recording studio in August to make a tribute album to some of his lesser-known songs. When the session "And His Mother Called Him Bill" was over, Ellington went over to the piano and he sat alone. He began to play Lotus Blossom. The recording equipment was still on, and Harry Carney unpacked his Barry, and Aaron Bell took out his bass, and they sat with him on the second chorus, and it became the last track of the album. And many critics viewed this rendition of Lotus Blossom as Ellington's final eulogy to his friend. And fittingly, when Ellington died in '74, Alec Whiten reworked the song for the organ, and he played it at Ellington's funeral at the St. John the Divine in New York. So this song is really beautiful. I thought that I could forget that our lips had ever met. I thought that a trip would give love the slip, but all roads lead back to you. I boarded a railroad train. I traveled around by plane. It's no good to fly, 'cause all road maps lie, 'cause all roads lead back to you. Learned a lot on planes I got on when my plans fell through. Somehow sky roads, low or high roads, bring me closer to you. For there on my solo flight, I thought of you day and night. No need to pretend I'm at journey's end, for all roads lead back to you. Pretty beautiful. Pretty beautiful. That song is really beautiful. Another song I'm looking at, and I don't think Karen Allison wrote these lyrics, but this is where I heard this. Footprints. You know, ba-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-do. So these are some beautiful lyrics. I'm learning these. Our love's a story that documents our journey. Memories are landmarks that comfort and assure me you'll be with me always. Follow the footprints we left and I'll find you there. Time's changing currents can drown you in a deluge. Painted in still life, the past becomes a refuge, free from pain and sorrow. Follow the footprints we left and I'll find you there. Just like a treasure, your touch was stolen from me. When it seems heartbreak and loss will overcome me, I can hear you calling. Follow the footprints we left and you'll find me there. I believe one day that we'll be reunited. silencing demons that turn up and uninvited, but until that happens, follow the footprints we left and I'll find you there. Nice, huh? So anyway, that's about it. I wonder if I could tell you some of my lyrics possibly, like to Diane, for instance. I think the music with this song is good. Diane, Diane, the softest of the angels. Diane, Diane, the brightest star above, bringing the light of the heavenly skies into the heart of everyone's lives. She touches all who let her with her warm embraces. Diane, Diane, she'll sing a song of laughter. Diane, Diane, she'll sing a song of love. Open your heart to her heavenly song, hearing the words that cannot be wrong, for your heart needs the message that she brings of love and hope and warmth and care. She brings all of these things. Diane. Oh. Okay. Does it work? It doesn't work. Oh, yes, it does. Aha. Okay. Thank you. Fury sings the blues. I don't know that. Joyce, you and I are having a single conversation, it looks like. Is that your song, Joyce? That Fury sings the blues, or whose is that? Joni Mitchell. Oh, okay. I don't know that song. Old Beale Street is coming down. Sweetie's snack bar boarded up now, and Eagles, the tailor, and the Shine Boys gone, faded out with ragtime blues. She really got away from rhyming, didn't she? Handy's cast in bronze, and he's standing in a little park with his trumpet in his hand, like he's listening back to the good old bands, and the click of high-heeled shoes. Old Fury sings the blues, propped up in his bed with his dentures and his leg removed. And Ginny's there for her kindness and Fury's beer. She's the old man's angel overseer. Pawn shops glitter like gold-toothed caps in the gray decay. Oh. I have a book of her lyrics. They chew the last few dollars off. Old Beale Street's carcass, carrion and mercy, blue and silver sparkling drums, cheap guitars, eye shades and guns, aimed at the hot blood of being no one, down and out in Memphis, Tennessee. Old Fury sings the blues. Bring him smoke and drink and he'll play for you. Let's something mostly muttering now and sideshow spiel, but there was one song he played I could really feel. There's a double bill murder at the New Daisy. The old girl's silent across the street. She's silent, waiting for the wrecker's beat. Silent, staring at her stolen name, diamond boys and satin dolls. Bourbon laughter, ghosts, history falls to parking lots and shopping malls as they tear down Old Beale Street. Old Fury sings the blues. He points a bony finger at you and says, I don't like you. Everybody laughs as if it's the old man's standard joke, but it's true. We're only welcome for our drink and smoke. W.C. Handy, I'm rich and I'm fey, and I'm not familiar with what you played, but I get such strong impressions of your heyday, looking up and down Old Beale Street. Ghosts of the dark town society come right out of the bricks at me, like it's a Saturday night. They're in their finery, dancing it up and making deals. Fury sings the blues. Why should I expect that old guy to give it to me true? Fall into hard luck and time and other thieves while our limo is shining on his shanty street. Oh, whew. Those lyrics are amazing. I'd like to see, look at that question. Is Tom Waits mentally ill? I don't think so. That's a weird question. Um, let's see. Um, Tom Late's lyrics. Ah. Well, I hope that I don't fall in love with you, because falling in love just makes me blue. The music plays and you display your heart for me to see. I had a beer, now I hear you calling out for me. I hope that I don't fall in love with you. The room is crowded, people everywhere, and I wonder, should I offer you a chair? Well, if you sit down with this old clown, take that frown and break it before the evening's gone away. I think that we could make it, and I hope I don't fall in love with you. Well, the night does funny things inside a man, these old tomcat feelings you don't understand. Well, I turn around to look at you. You light a cigarette. I wish I had the guts to bum one, but we've never met, and I hope I don't fall in love with you. I can see that you're lonesome just like me, and it being late, you like some company. Well, I turn around to look at you, and you look back at me. The guy you're with has up and split. The chair next to you is free. I hope you don't fall in love with me. Now it's closing time. The music's fading out. Last call for drinks. I'll have another stout. I turn around to look at you, and you're nowhere to be found. I search the place for your lost face. I guess I'll have another round. I think that I just fell in love with you. I'm going to see more of Lorraine Feather's lyrics. Oh, back to her page. Cool. Music by Duke Ellington. Tonight we're going with the tidal flow, the moon above us and the sea below. We'll have a party out on Calistoga Bay. Say adios to every care and woe, 'cause we'll be shaking up the status quo. Soon we're drifting on to Calistoga Bay. Tonight, all trouble will be transcended. A comet's passing, it should be splendid. Invite your mama and her latest beau. Call up your dad because the dude can blow. We'll make some music out on Calistoga Bay. Sail away. We'll hang those baby blue lights. It's time for celebrating life. All the sights and sounds of springtime. Oh, cruise on to heavenly heights. It's a glittering, glamorous trip. You know you want to take it. We'll ride a wave on up one side and down the other, and then another and another and another. And if the ballroom should get to rockin', we'll still be swinging, stomping on the dance floor. Come on, Willie, drop everything you're doing, 'cause you don't need to mow the lawn. Those dirty dishes will never know you're gone. Can't you hear that siren song saying, take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip? Round up all our pals, the hippies and those crazy queens who used to play the Golden Lantern in New Orleans. They'll be buku hugging, jitterbugging too. One fine yacht is what we got. Room for everyone we ever knew. Get on the horn to every friend and foe. The girl who dumped you in Atascadero could break away and come to Calistoga Bay. Why not say all is forgiven? Pull up the anchor and we're good to go. The decks are gleaming. There's a feast below. It's great to be together on a night like this. I put your name on a big kiss. We star-eyed lovers are set for sailing. The comet hovers, the section's wailing. Yo-ho, everybody, let's hit the ocean, 'cause one big time commotion. Full steam and laughing and screaming. Bon voyage. Hey, we're on our way out onto Calistoga Bay. Yeah, you know, she's a fantastic writer, and she's written music lyrics to Duke Ellington, Shelley Berg, the pianist, and Eddie Arkin. Russell Ferrante. Yeah. I bet we could actually, oh. Oops. That's gonna, hello. Lorraine Feather. I'm also going to tell you that Tomorrow, I have Bob Bowman on. Bob Bowman is a great bass player who played with Carmen McRae for quite a while. And he's really a wonderful player. He came here about a month ago. We're old friends, and he played with me on my my gig that is a jam session as well. And then he did a concert that weekend in the backyard of a friend, and that concert changed my DNA. It was really amazing. He's a wonderful, wonderful player and very, very well respected. He lives in Kansas City, so tomorrow is we're going to interview him. The next day, I forgot to promote this. I have to go on Facebook and promote this, but well, first I did promote Chris Blondal. Chris Blondal is a great drummer here in Los Angeles, and he's going to be here. Let me show you my face here. Chris Blondal, he's kind of, I think of him as more of a modern jazz player, and he's really great. He's very sensitive and spontaneous and just a really good musician. So I'm looking forward to hanging with him. However, tomorrow night, I have a special guest from Australia, and I just can't have Australians anymore get up too early. We did have Michelle, Nicole, and I forget her name right this minute, but we was Ingrid, yeah, Ingrid James too. She got up early for me, and Anita Wardell. So the three of them woke up super early. I mean, like 5 a.m. to do the show, and it was like, so it was silly, you know. So Chris McNulty is a wonderful singer, and man, there is some really beautiful stuff on Chris. I wonder if I have this. If I could play you a little bit of this. Where did I? I had this up for the longest time on my tabs, but I think I took it down. Yeah. Anyway, Chris McNulty is really, really marvelous singer, and she did this beautiful project with a great arranger in Australia. So we're going to hang with her from 7 to 9 Wednesday evening. So I'll put that up. I will promote that for you. But wonderful, wonderful singer. So then Thursday through Sunday, I'll be posting past people. Thursday, wonderful guitarist from San Diego, who just is really, he's one of the top guitarists around, Peter Sprague. And he has a project called Planet Cole Porter with a singer named Rebecca Jade. When I was booking Saturday Night Jazz for 2.5 years in Bar Fedora, downtown LA, they came and played. It was really wonderful. And then Friday, it's kind of a special posting. We're going to have Putter Smith, jazz bass player, and his wife, Celebration of Jazz Facebook group page. Okay, I will. I don't think I'm a member of that. I don't know if I can be a member of it or I can just post. I'm writing it down. Celebration. That's not your site, is it? Celebration of Jazz Facebook. Okay. So Friday, Putter Smith, who's a veteran bass player, and he's really wonderful. And his wife, V.R. Smith, was a wonderful jazz singer, kind of almost Carmen McRae-ish, very dear friend of mine and a lot of people in Los Angeles. And she passed away last year, which was pretty heartbreaking for all of us. But Putter also, one of his funny claim to fame is that he was he was one of the bad guys in James Bond's Diamonds Are Forever. Now, if you're familiar with that movie, there were these two gay guys who were the bad guys, and he was one of the guys. And so, I mean, you can imagine how much fun we've had with that over the years. So that was Putter's claim to fame. And then Saturday, world-renowned trombone player, very, very wonderful, Scott Whitfield. And Sunday, award-winning singer who performed and also wrote lyrics to a lot of Russell Ferrante's music and the Yellow Jackets, with Kevin Littau. And Kevin she's a really wonderful singer, and she's been a wonderful singer for a long time. She traveled, she was very well known in Manila, and super famous, actually, like star. And she's just wonderful singer and a really great teacher as well. So that's Sunday. And so that's a lot to remember. So I'm not even going to tell you who's going to be on next week. Yeah, but if you want, you can go to my website, CathySegal-Garcia.com, and see. I usually post the events a few days ahead. So I don't want to overload my Facebook with the whole week. So I've taken to doing the next 3 days at a time. Anyway, I think I'm going to get off now, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. Thank you to my guest, Lorraine Feather. And thank you all for being here. Thanks, Joyce, for staying connected to me here. And I will be sure to post on your site. And everybody take care. And I will see you tomorrow for Bob Bowman, okay? Bye-bye.